Hi, it's confession time, which is why I'm hiding in my office. Can you keep a secret? Good. I was going to call this video Valentine's Day, how to be a better lover, but I thought it might cause a few people to choke while others fell about laughing. So here's the thing. I guarantee that every other video with a Valentine theme on YouTube is going to be about getting you to buy things to show your affection for someone, or it's about relationships. Well, here's another secret. This video's no different. Well, it sort of is. Yes, I've got some suggested gifts and ideas, and yes, it's about relationships, but not like you think. Anyway, let's get started with an origin story. Where did it all come from? Well, back in the day, Valentinus of Rome was a clergyman in the Roman Empire who ministered to persecuted Christians. As you can imagine, this went down like a lead balloon with the authorities, and eventually his actions got him killed by the state. The Romans were such an easygoing lot. By the 3rd century, he was made a saint, and his acts of loving kindness are commemorated in Christianity on February the 14th, so that's where we get the date from. Now, being kind, of course, doesn't sell many cards and chocolates, so fast forward several hundred years, and we discover that from the high Middle Ages, his Saint's Day has been associated with a tradition of courtly love. And the rest, as they say, is history. Okay, so Valentine's Day is all about selling us on a promise or a dream. But what if we attempted to blend the modern notion of Valentine's Day with a little of Valentinus's passionate love for the world around him, especially for those under pressure? So what follows are some ideas and products that my household uses on a daily basis and that we really rate. They've all been selected for showing a little bit of love for the wider world, as well as being lovely in their own right. Okay, well, I'm going to start this section with something that's close to my heart, my pet passion, and that is chocolate. And one particular company that has been a lifesaver for me through lockdown has been a company called Divine. Now, I'm going to start large and then get smaller, but this is what they call their tasting hamper. Inside a box like this, you get 20 chocolate bars that are this sort of size. So these are 90-gram bars, so it's a really good size. So that's smooth, dark, pink Himalayan salt, but they come in all different flavors. 20 bars in a box like that, the tasting hamper. If that's a bit on the big side, and let's be honest, it is for most of us, then they do these little things, these 12 tasting bar sets, and when you open them up, there's a bit of information about where the chocolates have come from, and then all these little flavors. So toffee and sea salt's a particular favorite of mine, and then the creamy white with strawberries, and they're only very small, 15-gram bars each, so just a little hint, a little hit of chocolate when you need it. If you'd like something more like a traditional bar, then they've got milk and orange, milk caramel and creamy white. All of those I recommend, although my favourite, I have to say, is the orange chocolate. And then it wouldn't be right to finish without actually mentioning something more Valentine's themed. So these are milk chocolate and white chocolate with strawberry hearts, and they're full of these little foil wrapped hearts, and again, perfect gift. So love your tum. Let's start with these Divine chocolates. All of them are fair trade, so they're as good for the producer as they are for your taste buds. Okay, well, where are we now? Oh yes, well that's, yep, you guessed it right. Toilet rolls, what on earth? Well, we've gone from love your tum to love your bum, and I'd like to introduce you to a company called Who Gives a Crap. And the toilet roll on the top is from their Christmas delivery, and it really does have to and from written on it, but I'll give you a bit of background on these simply by opening one. Here's one, as they say, I prepared earlier. So company's called Who Gives a Crap, and they supply toilet rolls direct to your house. So I don't know about you, but lugging them home from the shops, just cumbersome, tricky, fills up the basket, etc, etc. So here we go. These are delivered direct to your door, good for your bum and great for the world. 50% of profits are donated to help build toilets. And as it says just here, more people have mobile phones than toilets around the world, and the amount of suffering that this creates is unbelievable. So all of their products are plastic free, as you can see in the packaging, but they are 100% either recycled or bamboo, and I'm going to be looking at bamboo again in a moment, but they're really soft. No inks or dyes or scents are used, so it's good for you, good for the planet, and good for other people. And they're, like I say, delivered straight to your door. Thoroughly recommend this company. Who gives a crap? Brilliant. While I'm on the subject of making your shopping lighter, here's a company with two products. It's called Schmoll. They make laundry capsules and they make dishwasher tablets, and they are in the business of eliminating plastic. So it's all cardboard. It comes straight through your letterbox. There's the laundry detergent. That's the equivalent of 4 plastic bottles in there, apparently. It's the most effective concentrated laundry capsules and dishwasher tablets that come in the post, and they're not tested on animals. And they're cheaper. Apparently they save up to 50% on the normal brand price, and they use less chemicals because they're super compact and concentrated. And at the moment they've got a free trial for customers, so I'll put a link for that down below in the description. Give it a try. If you don't like it, go back to what you were using, but it's got to be worth having a go. And that's another load off your shoulders when you're doing the shop. Now, continuing the theme of saving your arms when you do the weekly or monthly shop, I'd like to recommend some more suppliers, but this time they're local suppliers. Look into your local fruit and veg company for deliveries, and your local butchers, and while you're at it, the local vineyard. We've had excellent service and excellent quality from all of ours, and we thoroughly recommend them. And there's one final way to save your arms when you're doing the weekly shop and support a local business. And for that, we need to step outside. And of course, the last one is, of course, the traditional milkman or lady. Go onto the internet and search for milkman in my area, and it will bring up your nearest dairy company. Don't forget, they don't just supply milk, but all sorts of groceries and juices and creams, etc. We've had one for years. You know that the milk is local, you know that it's fresh, and again, it's another weight off your shoulders. Thoroughly recommended. Show them a little bit of love. Now, you might remember I'm on a bit of a mission to reduce the amount of plastic in our daily lives. Well, let's start with the morning routine, shall we? Toothbrushes and toothpaste. How much plastic's involved in these, and they get binned on a reasonably regular basis. There must be billions of these things scattered around landfills all over the world. What if there is an alternative? Well, there is. It's bamboo again. Bamboo toothbrushes. Yes, the bristles are still plastic, but the amount of plastic waste produced is so much smaller. But what about the toothpaste, I hear you say? Well, glad you asked. The company we've come to find that works best for us is a company called Save Some Green. Not only do they make the bamboo toothbrushes, but they also make these tiny tooth tabs. You just put one in your mouth, chew it between your teeth, and it foams up. Cleans the teeth up lovely, and yes, it's got fluoride, and yes, it's minty fresh. And that's it. These little tooth tabs come as part of delivery straight through your letterbox. No plastic, no fuss. Brilliant. And a top tip, if you've got children, use tooth tabs. It's very easy to get the portion size right then. Just one tab, mouth clean and fresh, and no excess toothpaste squeezed out all round the sink. Brilliant. Job's a good one. So we're back in my office, this time for Love Your Mind. And it's just to say, get onto the internet, search for bookshop in my area, and see if you can support your local bookshop. Show them some love. I know Amazon's convenient, but there's just something about being able to hold, caress, and even smell a book, or is that just me, before you buy it. So, love your mind. So after love your mind comes love your soul, and the best way you can do that is to turn the red subscribe button grey. It looks better that way. And then once you've done that, get outside, have a walk, and you'll be amazed at the difference it makes. It's never the wrong weather, only sometimes the wrong clothes. Again, type local walks near me into your search engine if you fancy being taken somewhere you've never been before. You'll be amazed how many footpaths are in your local area that you haven't explored yet. Get out there and enjoy the world around you. And when you get back home, why not check out how you're doing with loving this great big beautiful blue and green planet that we call home. Check out your carbon footprint at WWF, what was the World Wildlife Fund. Link for that is in the description below. Now we move on to love your significant other. That might be a friend, it might be a partner, it might be a spouse. I keep talking about bamboo, and here's why. Whilst we've had the environment at our heart for years, the clothing industry is one of the worst for pollution. BAM is a bamboo clothing company based in Devon. Now, bamboo, why bamboo? Well, because it absorbs 5 times more carbon than hardwood trees. It needs half the land that cotton needs to produce the same amount of fibre, and it doesn't need irrigation or pesticides. So you can see how environmentally useful it can be as a product to make everything from toothbrushes to toilet paper, and yes, to make clothes from. And I'm here to tell you that bamboo clothes really are lush to wear. Over the years I've accumulated socks, smalls and jumpers, and they're now my go-to garments. They're warm in the winter, they're breathable in the summer, and they're easy to care for. Just bung them in the washing machine like any other fabric. BAM has an amazing range of clothes on their website that are delivered to you in plastic-free packaging. I always wait for the sale and then I dive in. There's a link for the company down in the description below. I can thoroughly recommend BAM. This jumper is one of my favourites at the moment. And for my final one, I've called it Love Your Radiators, but it's about your utility company. As with all of these, please do your homework. We get our gas and electricity from a company called Bulb. It provides 100% renewable electricity from solar, wind and hydro, and their gas is 100% carbon neutral too. They offset the emissions from the gas that they supply by supporting carbon reduction projects around the world. They're the biggest buyer of green gas in addition for homes in the UK, so a chunk of their gas mix comes from renewable sources like food and farm waste. I've been with them for years and I can vouch for their customer support. It is excellent. You don't need to take my word for it. They've been awarded the U-Switch Best Value for Money 2020 award, and they rank at 4.6 out of 5 on Trustpilot for reviews. Their link, should you consider them for your utility company, is down below. All the products and companies I've mentioned are linked in the description down below. Don't buy what you don't need. The planet is suffering enough from excess waste. But with that said, if you do need something, these products at least minimise your impact and or do others some good. Now, in the interest of transparency, some of the links have referral codes. So if you decide to buy anything, I may get a discount on my next purchase or something along those lines. Wow. So all this just from a bloke who lived centuries ago, who did what he could to help those less fortunate than himself. You just never know the impact that your life is going to have on the course of human history. Till the next one, stay safe and live love.